SBA Publications.
Hello everyone, this is your mentor Vedika. I hope you are doing well. So, the topic we are going to start today is sentences. आपने sentences के बारे में previous classes में भी पढ़ा है. And you already know that a sentence is a group of words, एक group of words जो कि एक complete sense बनाते हैं, जिनका कुछ complete meaning होता है, जिसे पढ़ के हम उसका मतलब समझ जाते हैं, right? And you already know that a sentence is made up of two parts. Sentence के दो parts होते हैं, which are subject and predicate. So, in this chapter, we will read some more about the same topic. So, let's begin. A sentence is a group of words that I have already told you, which makes a complete sense. जिसका कोई complete sense होता है, and it is made up of two parts, subject and predicate. And now about the subject, you already know that it is a part of a sentence that names the person or thing being spoken about. वो person और thing जिसके बारे में sentence में बात की जा रही है. In a sentence, a subject is usually placed first. एक sentence में subject usually सबसे पहले place किया जाता है. But in some kind of sentences, this is not the case. For example, in interrogative and exclamatory sentence, the subject is not placed first. And about this, we will read in this chapter. So, for example, children play cricket. So, this is a sentence, and in this sentence, children is the subject. Now, the second sentence, children of this school play cricket. Now, what is the difference in these two sentences? In the first one, children is the subject. However, in the second sentence, children of this school will be the subject. Why? We are talking about the children of this school, the children who study in this school, but not the children as a whole. So, in the above sentences, these two, as you have already seen, children and children of this school are the subjects. Let's move forward to predicate. So, as you already know, a predicate is what we are speaking about or what is being spoken about the subject. Subject के बारे में जो बात की जाती है वो predicate होता है. And you must also know that it predicate must have at least one finite verb. उसमें एक finite verb होनी ही चाहिए. And it provides information about the subject, which you already know, the verb in a sentence and the verb in a sentence. So it provides us information, हमें information देता है किसके बारे में? Subject और verb के बारे में. For example, Varanasi is famous for its silk sarees. So Varanasi is the subject. Now this is the predicate. Is famous for its sarees is the predicate. Jawaharlal Nehru called the industries as the temples of India. Again, you can understand that Jawaharlal Nehru is the subject. Why? Because we are talking about him in the sentence, and the rest of the part is the predicate. Now, let's see what we have further. Simple or incomplete sentences have transitive verbs. Such sentences have subject verb or SV pattern. सिंपल और इनकम्प्लीट सेंटेंसेस में कौन सा पैटर्न होता है? सब्जेक्ट वर्ब और एसवी पैटर्न. कंप्लीट सेंटेंसेस हैव ट्रांजिटिव वर्ब्स. सच सेंटेंसेस हैव सब्जेक्ट वर्ब ऑब्जेक्ट पैटर्न. नाउ जो सिंपल सेंटेंस होंगे उनमें सिर्फ सब्जेक्ट वर्ब पैटर्न होगा, और जो कंप्लीट सेंटेंसेस होंगे उनमें सब्जेक्ट वर्ब एंड ऑब्जेक्ट पैटर्न होगा, यानी कि उनमें ऑब्जेक्ट भी ऐड हो जाएगा, एंड दैट ऑब्जेक्ट विल ऑल्सो बी द पार्ट ऑफ द प्रेडिकेट. For example, she will dance, or the birds flew away. They saw an alligator at the zoo. Now, I hope you can see the difference between these sentences. Mirabai was a devotee of Lord Krishna. Now, these two sentences have subject-verb pattern, whereas the last two sentences, they have the subject-verb-object pattern, as they have object in the end. I hope this is clear to you all. And let's move further. Some sentences have a transitive verb and two objects. In such a case, the indirect object is something that is given or done for the direct object. अब कुछ sentences ऐसे होते हैं जिनमें एक transitive verb होती है और दो objects होते हैं. In such sentences, we have one direct object and one indirect object. अब जो indirect object है वो या तो direct object को कुछ देता है या उसके लिए कुछ करता है. For example, my sister got me a watch. So here the indirect object is me and the direct object is watch. अब watch मेरे लिए आई है तो watch direct object है जो indirect object के लिए आई है. तो indirect object को कुछ मिल रहा है, उसके लिए कुछ किया जा रहा है. Okay? And the second one, she sang a song for me. So the direct object is song and it is being sung for us. तो यहाँ पर indirect object us and direct object is song. Song जो है वो गाया जा रहा है किसी के लिए. So us will be the indirect object and song will be the direct object which is being done for the indirect one. Verbs that do not express action are called linking verbs. वो verbs जो action नहीं express करती हैं वो linking verbs होती हैं. And ऐसी verbs की either एक noun होती है और adjective होता है. Okay, as a subject. Subject complement. They follow the pattern of subject verb subject complement or SVSC. For example, Mrs. Sharma is our class teacher. Now, Mrs. Sharma is the subject and class teacher is the subject complement. Right? Mrs. Sharma is pretty. Now, this is also a complement. Now, here noun is as the subject complement and now here adjective is as a subject complement is being used. The verbs that are transitive in a sentence are the subject verb object complement, or we can say SVOOC pattern. Let's see some examples for this also. How can you hit him so hard? So there is adjective that is working as a object complement. How can you hit him so hard? Hard is the adjective here and it is the complement for the object. How did he hit him so hard? So it is an object complement or an adjective which is being used. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is types of the sentences. So as you have already read in the previous class, there are 5 types of the sentences. First one is declarative sentence, which make a statement. So as you have already studied about these type of sentences in the previous classes, you must already know that declarative sentences are those that make a statement or even an assertion. So now these can be of 2 types. First is affirmative and second is negative. Ritu is a doctor. It is a affirmative or a positive statement. And Anup is not a doctor. So it is a negative statement. Why? Because it is using not in the sentence. Next we have is interrogative sentences. So as you already know or can even understand by the name also, that interrogative sentences are those which ask questions. जो question पूछते हैं वो interrogative sentence होते हैं. Right? Now these can also be of 3 types. How? First one is WH questions. जब question WH family के किसी word से start होता है तो वो WH की category में आता है. For example, what is your name? Now this sentence is starting from the word what, which is a part of the WH family and it is asking a question. So it is of WH questions category. Second we have yes or no questions. For example, is your name Anup? So why is this a yes or no category? Because the answer will only be given in yes or no. Next is question tags. Your name is Ruchi, isn't it? Now, about question tags also you have read in the previous class, right? That when we add a short question in the end of the sentence, जब हम किसी sentence के end में एक short question add करते हैं, और वो क्यों ऐड करते हैं? या तो अपनी बात कंफर्म करने के लिए या फिर रिस्पॉन्स और अग्रीमेंट के इंतजार में, राइट? सो व्हेन द सेंटेंस विल बी पॉजिटिव, द क्वेश्चन टैग विल बी नेगेटिव, एंड व्हेन द सेंटेंस विल बी नेगेटिव, द क्वेश्चन टैग विल बी positive. This is the thing that you have to keep in your mind. Next we have imperative sentences. Now, these sentences are used to give commands, orders, request or give advice. So, first one is command and instructions. That is correct your pronunciation. What if I speak a wrong word and my teacher is sitting in front of me? They will say at the point of that time that correct your pronunciation. Now next is make a request. If you are making a request, it will also come under the category of imperative sentences. Like, please help me carry the bags. So someone is requesting that my bags are too heavy, please help me to carry them. Next is to give advice. You must wake up early in the morning. Like your mothers or your elders always advise you that you must wake up early in the morning. I hope this is also clear. Next is the fourth part, and that is exclamatory sentences. Now these are the sentences that are used to express your feelings. What kind of feelings? Anger, shock, surprise or admiration, or even happiness or joy. Like, for anger, hush, say no more. When you're angry at someone and you don't want them to speak anymore, you will say, hush, don't speak anymore. Right? Next one is shock. Alas, I lost everything. I lost everything. When you lose everything and you are left with nothing, you will be in shock for a long time. So this expresses that feeling. Next is surprise. Oh my God, I can't believe my eyes. जब आप कुछ ऐसा देख लेते हैं जिसे देख के आप हैरान हो जाते हैं. So you say, oh my God, I can't believe my eyes. Now last one is admiration. जब आप किसी चीज को admire करते हैं, पसंद करते हैं. Like, wow, what a beautiful deer it is. So when you like something or when you admire something, you find something very beautiful. You will say, wow. That is the word of exclamation that you use in such sentences. And the last one we have is optative sentences. These sentences express wishes, prayers, blessings and even curses. Although these sentences express curses, you cannot do that to anyone, right? So, optative sentences will always end with a exclamation mark. For example, may you live long, or long live the king. Here we are expressing our wishes or prayers, right? Now, these sentences will normally start with a may or a wish. But when may or wish is not present in the sentence, you should always understand that it is hidden there. For example, the second sentence we have, long live the king. Here, we can also say, may the king live long. It will be the same in meaning. Right? Now, let's move forward. Simple, compound and complex sentences. Now, these are the other types of sentences which we will be doing in this chapter. First is simple sentences. Now, a sentence that is made up of one independent clause and makes a complete sense is called a simple sentence. जो सिर्फ एक clause से बना होता है, वो क्या होता है हमारा simple sentence. For example, my father is a senior manager in this organization. यहाँ पर हम सिर्फ एक और सीधी बात कर रहे हैं, right? यहाँ पर हमने कोई दूसरी बात add नहीं करी है. So my father is a senior manager in this organization. Chandigarh is a planned city. Or even microbiology is an interesting subject. These are the simple sentences. Now, they are made up of one independent clause and they have one subject and one finite verb. I hope this is clear to you all. So, there are 2 points that you have to keep in mind, that are a simple sentence has only one subject and only one finite verb. Next up, we have compound sentences. What are compound sentences? When 2 independent clauses are joined by a conjunction to make a sentence. It is called a compound sentence. When 2 clauses, right, not one, 2 clauses are joined together. How? By a conjunction. So, for example, you may either stay in the hostel or with your relatives. Here we have joined 2 sentences with the help of conjunction, which is either and or. These are used to join 2 sentences together and make one out of it. ऐसे sentences को हम compound sentence कहते हैं. क्यों? हमने 2 sentences को एक साथ जोड़ दिया है और उनसे हमने एक ही sentence बनाया है. किसकी help से? Conjunctions की help से. Let's see the second one. The flowers are blooming. The birds are singing. And spring is in the air. Now, here we have added again sentences with the help of a conjunction, that is and. Right? The flowers are blooming. The birds are singing. And spring is in the air. In this sentence, we are describing the environment in one sentence. And here we are talking about different things in just one sentence, like flowers, birds and spring. I hope this one is also clear to you all. So, as you have already seen, in the first one there were only 2 clauses that were joined together with the conjunction, that is either and or. But in the second sentence there are 3 sentences that we have joined together. In the first one we have used a comma, and in the second one we have used and, which is also a conjunction. Now you have to remember that compound sentences communicate more than one complete thought through independent clause. वो एक से ज़्यादा complete thought को express करते हैं. Coordinate clauses can be joined with the help of conjunctions such as and, but, however, nevertheless, nonetheless, only, still, whereas, yet, or, otherwise, for, so, therefore and so on. There are so many conjunctions that you can use to join 2 or more sentences together. Next and the last, we have complex sentences. When an independent clause joins a dependent clause to make a complete sentence. जब एक independent clause एक dependent clause को join करता है. अब हम देखते हैं ये करता कैसे है. As soon as the meeting began, a member said that he wanted to raise a point of order. Now, here we have used a comma to join 2 sentences. But this first one is an independent one. But the second sentence we can see that it is an indirect speech, right? A member said that he wanted to raise a point of order. Now, we have changed the subject in this sentence. How? Let's see. It has only one main clause and 2 subordinate clauses. Why? These are also 2 sentences which we have joined together with the help of that, right? A complex sentence contains at least 2 finite verbs. Now, it will contain 2 finite verbs and it will have as many clauses in a sentence as there are finite verbs. अब जितनी finite verbs होंगी उतने ही इनमें sentences होंगे. So, we can say that there is no such limit. That is why it is called complex sentences. So, there is only one main clause that you have to keep in mind, and it will be known as the principal clause. And the rest of them are subordinate clauses. The subordinated clauses are dependent on the principal clause. Now, they are dependent. ये depend करते हैं किस पे? Principal clause पे. To complete the meaning. Without this clause, the meaning will be incomplete. For example, in this sentence only, a member said that he wanted to raise a point of order. It will not make a complete sense that whose member and when he said and what he wanted. We will not be able to understand this without the first one, right? So, let's see the points that you have to keep in mind. In a complex sentence, the subordinate clause is joined with the main clause. This I have already told you and I hope you have understood it well. Now, either a conjunction such as because, after, before, while, since, that, as, unless, though, although and so on, they will be used. And or relative pronouns such as who, which, what. So they will be used to join the sentences together. And I hope with this explanation the chapter is clear to you all and you will be able to do the exercise of the chapter with the same. I hope it is clear to you all and let's meet in the next video. Bye-bye.